북한 해군 계실 때 미국 해군 이길 수 있다고 생각했어요?
미국이나 이제 그 어떤 나라보다도 정신적으로 압도할 수 있다. 예, 그런 얘기를 굉장히 많이 했었고 기술적으로 압도할 수 있다라는 얘기는 한 번도 안 했던 것 같아요.
아, 기술적으로는 얘기 안 하지만 뭔가 정신으로?
네네. 정신적으로는 예, 굉장히 우세하기 때문에 압도할 수 있다. 그런 얘기를 늘 했었습니다.
How long have you been in the Navy?
So I was in the Navy for 4 years. For a U.S. contract, the minimum is 4 years to sign.
오케이. 그럼 북한 해군도 얼마나 계셨어요?
저는 7년 동안 예, 근무했습니다.
좀 또 오래 계셨네요, 어떻게 보면.
아, 정말요?
4년
몇 년
계셨다고
계셨어요?
4년 계셨다고 얘기했는데 북한 해군의 뭐 제일 강한 무기나
잠수함이 제일 강한 무기라고 예, 얘기를 했었어요. 그 잠수함들이 전세에는 제일 중요한 역할을 한다. 이제 적진으로 뚫고 들어갔을 때 예, 자폭용사로서 하는 그런 이제 집단이라서 제일 강하게.
American Navy. What are you guys taught about North Korea and specifically their Navy and how strong they are?
So, with my education in the military itself, we weren't necessarily focused on North Korea, we were focused on other regions. But I can discuss what my education in general US.
Sure.
Now, I will say, everything I say is based on my own experience.
For sure.
I mean, you can attest for this as well, too. I can't talk on what everyone else experience. Every state is different when it comes to their education.
For sure.
But for me personally, the education I received when it comes to North Korea in general is focused on their abuse of human rights and then their pursuit of a nuclear weapon.
Gotcha.
So those were the main topics that we focused on. And then, of course, the history of North Korea and South Korea going into the Korean War. But those are generally the two topics that we focused on growing up.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I had a pretty similar experience where you learn about North Korea, you learn about the history of the war, and then how South Korea is our friend because they're capitalist and free, and North Korea is
Right.
not. Interesting. Okay. The U.S., like you said, has several enemies throughout the world. Especially we can talk about like the axis of evil with Iran, China, North Korea, and who's the other one? Russia.
Russia, you're right.
Yeah. So when Americans talk about that, especially in the military, what's the perception or how is it talked about?
Enemy of the state.
Okay.
So it's one of the top state level enemies in the moment, according to the 2026 National Defense Strategy.
Okay. So it's definitely still a very big concern
Very
for
much
the
so, and
Americans.
it's because of the lack of information in a way
Sure.
that comes out of the country, and also because of their consistent pursuit of nuclear weapons. That's a big problem.
We also talked about North Korea's strongest weapon being a submarine. For the U.S., I would assume it's going to be something a little more intimidating.
So, as someone who is no longer in the military, that's not something I can kind of talk about.
Sure. Maybe, I guess there's probably
Right.
some secret stuff. Sure. Totally fine. Very cool.
Okay.
Okay. So technically, you guys were once enemies or on the other side of kind of the line. How do you kind of feel now meeting someone who is on the other, what you say the other side?
네, 그냥
그죠.
미국 사람?
그죠.
네. 근데 제가 금방 왔을 때 봤으면 또 좀 다른 느낌이었을 것 같아요.
그래요?
네. 딱 이제 미국 사람이다라고 하면은 좀 무서웠을 것 같아요. 네. 네, 북한에서 받은 교육이 있었으니까
그죠.
감정이 좀 다르다.
그죠.
그렇게 생각했어요.
네.
똑같은 사람이다라기보다는 미국 사람들은 되게 멘탈이 정신적으로 좀 세고 그리고 이제
그거 맞는 것 같아요. 근데 저 그거 인정해요.
네,
Very
아무튼
true.
좀 조금 무서운 게 있었어요. 미국 사람이랑 이렇게 말을 해도 되나? 그래도 이제 죽도록 싸워야 되겠다. 예, 그런 정신력은 있었어요.
For the first time, how is your impression different from the impression that you would have had when you're in the military or growing up?
I don't think my impression has changed.
Oh, okay.
Because I've always had that mentality
Sure.
of it's not the people, it's the people that are supposed to be there to protect them. I have so many questions.
Sure, of course.
But that's a lot of just questions I've had growing up of how people can follow certain people like that.
그 혹시 해군 어디서 복무하셨는지 물어봐도 돼요?
그럼요.
I can't really.
You can't really say where the area
Yeah.
you went. Okay, yeah, 맞아요. 얘기 못해요. 촬영 끝나면 아마 얘기할 수 있는데 여기 촬영하면서 못해요.
그래요? 미국은 북한에서는 이제 철천지 원수라는 표현을 많이 쓰거든요.
철천지 원수 정확히
예.
어떤 뜻이에요? 원수라는 거 알고 있는데 철천지.
원수, 그러니까 그 원수도 단계가 있어요. 그러니까 더 나쁜 원수.
그냥 진짜 최악 1등 원수
예,
이런
예.
느낌이에요.
그 이제 늑대 혹시 아시나요? 늑대는 고기를 먹고 사는 짐승이잖아요. 그러니까 늑대가 풀을 먹지 못하듯이 늘 고기만 먹듯이 이제 미국은 그 이제 침략 전쟁이나 이제 항상 그 전쟁 이런 걸 위해서 이제 침략하는 그런 이제 본성이 있다. 뭐 베풀거나 이런 거는 절대 없다라는 교육을 받았잖아요. 예, 근데 지금에 와서 보면은 이제 똑같은 사람이고 이제 군대에 나가서 그 나라 군인으로서 최선을 다할 뿐이지 똑같은 인간이다. 예.
So I think this will be the most interesting. We'll be talking about the training and how it's different and kind of like
Okay.
the lifestyle. So for each of you, what was the most difficult training that you had to do? The hardest part of training?
The training itself wasn't necessarily physically that hard. Mentally, it was very difficult.
Okay.
But also, I went through my last two schools during COVID. So I'd left boot camp, finished my first school, and I was on my way to two other schools when COVID hit.
Sure.
So when COVID hit, I got locked down to base for the one school I was at. And
Yep.
there had been a mess up originally where my detailer messed up my orders, and so I was extended there anyway, but then I got
I
locked down onto the
remember.
base. I was in a barracks room by myself. I wasn't allowed to leave base because of my rank. So the only thing that was open on base was the commissary. Nothing else was open. So it was literally you were allowed to go to the commissary. I was still working
Yeah.
a full day's job and everything.
Sure.
And then I'd go back to my barracks and I'd be completely alone. And then all of my other sailors and shipmates that I was working with were being able to leave base and go home. So I then had no friends on base.
Emotionally, that would be rough.
So I was not only physically alone, I was emotionally completely separated, on top of being completely drained from doing a full day's work. I would have to say that would have to be the hardest thing I ever dealt with.
Yeah, makes sense. And that, yeah, the emotional part would be always rough if it's that
Absolutely.
isolating. Totally get it. Okay, so now we're going to watch a video on the U.S. Navy boot camp, I guess. You'll probably know
Okay.
more about this than I will.
In week 1, recruits are tested on their ability to swim.
God forbid you're in that abandoned ship scenario where you do have to leave the safety of your ship. The Navy has deemed that we need to be able to implement a swim qualification to ensure your safety and the safety of your shipmates. Everyone in the Navy has to have a third-class swim qualification. The third-class qualification consists of stepping from an elevated platform surfacing unassisted, swimming 50 yards, then doing a 5-minute prone on your front, known as a prone float, or on your back, known as a supine float.
I knew it's the Navy, you're gonna need to know how to swim a little bit. I had swam before, but I had never jumped off the diving board. Hitting the water, you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that to shock.
But not all recruits are ready to take the leap.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Some have to be pulled from the water during the test and sent to remedial swimming, where they learn the basics of being comfortable in the water.
We're just asking you to
Really?
try to actually calm yourself down and realize that the water's not going to drag you under. You know, you have to cooperate with it. We have a 99.97% pass rate.
It's quite interesting when you see. I have a lot of Navy friends who cannot swim. They were able to pass the test, but they cannot swim. So I have multiple swimming and diving certifications.
Sure.
Just because I was also a lifeguard for years before I joined the
Okay.
Navy. My mom made sure that my mom was a lifeguard as well too. The moment any of us could walk, we were kind of thrown into the pool.
Sure.
So what they showed here, this is the level 3 qualification. While I was in boot camp, I also did my level 2, which is a whole separate test. And then later on, while I was at my duty station, I was able to do my level 1,
Okay.
which is a whole nother swim test as well. You have to have specific qualification, lifeguard qualifications and everything in order to be able to qualify for that. What they do in this test is they do their best to try and simulate if you have to jump off the side of a ship and then being able to swim to a life raft or swim to another type of safety device. And then also keeping yourself afloat, which is where the front float and the back float come into play. And these are floats that we also teach young kids when they're
Sure. I
taught how
learned them.
to. Right. So it's when you're first taught how to swim. Okay, if you fall into the water, what do? You learn how to relax onto your back. You learn how to relax onto your front because it saves energy. The two things that I noticed the most that people would run into problems with is one, jumping off. Because even if they can swim, they might be afraid of heights.
Sure.
And that's a big thing. So even if you can swim, if you can't jump off, you're going to fail.
공포적이지.
고소공포.
Gotcha.
Or they'll push you off.
Sure, sure.
And then you'll fail. So, and then have to do it again. There was a couple girls from my division in boot camp who were literally doing remedial swim training up until the day or two before we graduated boot camp and went through our final simulation.
Wow.
So it was, if you do not pass it, you're going to keep going.
I said to pass.
And that's on top of everything else we're already learning.
For sure.
Right. So we're already going through our regular boot camp schedule training. On top of that, they still have to go to remedial training.
So, but when they do the swimming, like to pass, what do you have to do? Is it just floating and then jumping, or what's required?
I need to. So you jump off, and so when you jump off, you're going to have. I need to remember exactly. It's kind of like this, and you're holding.
Sure.
Oh, that was it. You're holding your mouth and your nose at the same time as you're jumping off, and then you have to cross your legs as you jump off. You then have to, and I'm probably doing my arms wrong because it's been so long. But they also look at how you jump off. They look at how you enter the water because you have to be able to come back up.
Sure.
That's a big thing. So even though you jump off, you still need to come back up. And then you go from that position, you have to swim a certain length. I don't remember the
Sure.
numbers off the top of my head. You have to swim a certain length of the pool, and then you have to swim back. And then when you swim back is when you're going to do your float. Now the float, even doing the swim back and forth, usually isn't that hard, but your heart rate starts going.
Sure.
You have to be able to calm yourself down to do the float. And if you can't calm yourself down, you're going to continue going,
Yep.
and you're going to start hyperventilating, and that's where
you
people
can't float, yep.
right. So that's where people drop
Interesting.
out as well.
그럼 어떻게 돼요?
어떻게 돼요? 합격 if they can't pass the tests, what happens?
They get set back. You get pushed back to the class behind you, or you get put in the dropout class.
집에 보내진 않고.
그죠.
북한도 훈련을 하거든요.
그럼요.
네,
그렇겠죠.
비슷하게 하긴 하는데 이제 영상 보니까 좀 체계적으로 하는 것 같더라고요. 예, 뭐 빠졌을 때 뭐 구하는 방법 그리고 뭐 오래 이제 거기서 뭐 떠 있는 거 이런 거 하는 것 같더라고요. 근데 북한은 좀 그냥 강제적으로 그냥 물에 던져놔요. 예, 뭐 방법이나 이런 거를 가르쳐 준다기보다는 그냥 그 공포심을 없애는데 기본 초점을 두고 해요. 예, 그냥 갖다 던져놔요. 바다 한가운데 갖다가. 예, 그러면 알아서 들어와야 돼. 그러니까 살기 위한 훈련이에요.
못 들어오면 그냥 뭐 끝나는 거.
물을 엄청 많이 먹어요. 그때
그죠, 그죠.
구해주긴 하는데, 그러니까 그만큼 고통스럽죠.
그러겠죠.
예,
대박.
살겠다고 이제 배를 보트가 딱 떨궈 놓고 보트가 딱 나가거든요. 그러면 배를 딱 잡는 친구들 있어요. 살고 싶으니까. 예, 그때 배를 못 잡게 그 깃발 같은 거 수기 떼 가지고 여기를 막 때려요. 그러면 안 나요, 그래도. 근데 너무 많이 맞으면 여기가 피가 나요. 근데 그래도 잡고 있는 친구들이 있어요. 그거 넣으면 죽을 것 같으니까. 그러니까 좀 훈련 방식이 좀 많이 달라가지고, 그러니까 실내 훈련장이잖아요. 근데 북한은 다 야외예요. 실내 훈련장이 없어요. 예, 그냥 바다 이제 파도 치는데 그냥 떨궈놔요. 그러니까 완전 생존 훈련이랑 똑같아요.
나 궁금해. Was this specific training for boot camp, or was this for your job? You were in the submarines, so did you have specific swim training for that job?
잠수함이랑은 좀 달라요. 그 잠수함을 직접 타는 군인들은 남성 군인들이거든요. 그러니까 여자들이랑 남자들이랑은 조금 달라요. 남자들은 좀 잘해요. 근데 잠수함도 방법은 크게 다르진 않아요. 방법은 똑같아요.
방법은 똑같아요.
예. 근데 여자들은 겨울에 물에 빠뜨리진 않거든요. 근데 남자들은 겨울에도 물에 들어가는 훈련을 해요.
그럼 북한군 친구들이 이거 보면은 반응 어떨까요? 실내 그거 훈련장 부럽다?
예, 좋겠다. 부럽죠. 해도 안 비치고,
그죠.
예, 그리고 파도도 없고,
그죠.
그러니까 초기 훈련할 때는 약간 요런 데가 필요하단 말이죠. 아예 생 바다에는 너무 위험해요. 예. 이게 단계별로 한다라고 하면은 더 훈련이 잘 될 것 같은 아마
그럴 수
많이 보면은 부러워하지 않을까 싶어요.
그래서.
During week 3, recruits report to the Marlin Spike trainer where they get their first taste of what it's like to be aboard a Navy ship.
Hand over hand, positive control. Y'all literally just did this. What is the problem?
Figure eight! One figure eight at a time!
Once they do get to us, there's that nervousness. They don't know anything about a ship. It's scary to them. Big old vessel in the water, right?
Remove the bird's nest!
We teach them about how to communicate on a ship, how to tie a knot, transitioning them to be a sailor.
This walkthrough, that was the easy part. Now the pressure's on. You up, you up.
Each recruit is assigned a role that corresponds to a real member of a ship's crew,
Make all preparations for getting underway.
with the objectives of getting a ship underway and bringing it safely into port.
Make all preparations
just standing there, they can be injured. Somebody can go overboard. Somebody can trip up on a line. Take it from myself because I've eaten complete crap before, like falling on the deck of a ship, and it's not fun.
I hated Marlin Spike and boot camp.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, I hated it.
Wait, so specifically where you learn how to operate, like work on the ship?
Right. So inside the, I mean, you see it right there. They basically have it's kind of like a quarter of the front deck,
Yeah.
and so you're literally walking up a gangway. You have the big ropes that you have on the ship. You have them on the ship. You have your little pylons and everything, simulating a dock and simulating the ship, and you're throwing the ropes off. You're learning how to. You have the phones that are on the deck. Learning how to tie the ropes properly and moor the lines. Like it was stressful.
I would imagine.
Because so much is, not because of the job that you're doing specifically, so much is happening.
Sure.
Because you're doing a job. Then you have your runner who's doing a job. Then you have someone else who's doing a job. You have to communicate with the people down there. There's
Sure.
like a sequence that you have to do everything. And if you get one sequence out of place, it messes everything up.
Having to communicate with the team, which is sometimes not easy, I would imagine, in a stressful situation.
Right. Everyone's like, and at this point we're all sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And it's a mess.
그 배 타시는 분들은 저런 훈련을 해요.
아.
근데 비슷하게 하더라고 이제 보니까.
어.
예, 배가 그 들어왔을 때 밧줄을 빨리 신속하게 묶어야지 배가 무거우니까 떠밀려 나가거든요.
그죠.
그래서 밧줄을 이제 풀리지 않게 묶는 방법을 가르쳐줘요.
어,
예,
똑같이.
그러니까 일반적으로 하는 것보다는 그 이제 한 번 이렇게 돌렸을 때도 배가 밀려 나가지 않게. 예, 비슷하게.
여자는 왜 안 해요?
그러니까 저는 교환수라서 안 했는데 배 타시는 분들은 대부분 남자들이에요.
아 진짜요?
네, 네.
와.
여자들은 해군이라고는 하지만 간호사 그리고 교환수 그리고 고사포, 해안포 그리고 고사총 요런 데만 종사하고 이제 잠수함이나 뭐 함정 같은 건 기본적으로 남자들이 다 타요.
In North Korea, it's really patriarchal. So I'm curious to hear how the military operates and kind of what that is like in North Korea.
군인 전체적으로 봤을 때도 물론 이제 그런 가혹행위나 이런 게 많지만 특히 또 여자들 같은 경우에는 이제 조금 더 많아요 남자들보다. 예, 뭐 이제 상급 지휘관이 그러니까 여자면은 약간 이제 폭언, 예, 폭언 같은 걸 많이 당하고 이제 상급 지휘관이 남자일 경우에는 뭐 추행이나 이런 게 좀 많아요. 예. 그러니까 기본적으로 이제 북한은 성추행 뭐 이런 데 관련돼서는 처벌하는 게 좀 약해요. 그러니까 뭔가 문제가 생기면은 약간 여자의 문제로 이제 몰고 가거든요. 그러니까 왜 너가 옷을 이렇게 짧게 입었니?
멀면 얘기하는 거.
왜 이렇게 화장을 진하게 했니? 이런 약간 예, 뉘앙스로.
그렇지.
그러니까
네가
여자가
그렇게 해서 남자 어쩔 수 없이
네,
그렇게 하게
맞아요.
된다.
약간 그런 식으로 많이 하기 때문에 뭔가 문제가 일어났을 때 여자들이 그걸로 목소리를 낼 수가 없어요. 네, 동의를 하고 이렇게 이루어졌는데 뭔가 이제 뒤에서 그렇게 하는 거 아니야? 네, 이렇게 이제 좀 여자한테 문제 있는 걸로 많이 하기 때문에 좀 군대에서 특히 그런 게 좀 많아요.
Basically, I heard actually that you were a sexual assault advocate in your command, right?
I was, yes.
So based on what you just heard, I guess, what's your perspective on that? And then also what was your role, I guess, to make sure that maybe stuff like that didn't happen?
In the United States, when it comes to sexual assault, we take it very seriously. I was a part of the SAPR program in the Navy, which is the Sexual Assault and Prevention.
Sure.
So I was then the liaison with the person who was in charge of the entire base. Anyone who, whether guy, girl, doesn't matter, if you feel that something has happened, you have someone to go talk to.
공식적으로.
뭔가 해결할 수 있는 방법이 있는
그렇죠,
거예요.
그렇죠. 그 남자도 여자도 누구든 그런 거 비슷한 거 없었다는 말씀이시죠, 결국엔?
있긴 있어요.
아,
그러니까
그래요?
왜 뭔가 거기서는 신소라고 하거든요. 그러니까
신소?
신소를 제기할 수는 있는데 이제처럼 뭐 월권 행위라던가 뭐 간부가 뭘 이제 그 후방 물자가 들어왔는데 그거를 이제 딴 데 빼돌렸다 이런 거는 돼요. 예, 이런 것도 되고 뭐 김부자의 사진이라던가 거기 스크래치를 냈다. 예, 이거는 해결이 돼요. 예, 이제 거기에다가 제의를 하면은 근데 성추행 관련돼서는 좀 그 묻혀요. 성추행 관련돼서는 왜냐면 그걸 다루는 위에 사람도 하고 그 위에 사람도 하기 때문에 그거를 좀 웬만하면은
그냥.
예, 좀 묻으려고 해요. 근데 그 대상이 좀 여자가 힘 있는 집이다. 아버지가 뭐 장군이시라던가 아니면 군대 쪽에 있다. 그러면 문제가 돼요. 네. 근데 힘이 없으면은 다 묻혀요.
북한에서 그런 성추행, 뭐 성폭력 한 사람들이 받았던 처벌 중에 제일 큰 거 뭐 있었어요?
그러니까 다른 부대로 이동을 시킨다던가, 예, 뭔가 그 와이프가 알았어요. 그래서 와이프가 알아서 둘이 부부 싸움이 나는 거예요. 예, 그래가지고 와이프가 이제 그걸 찔러가지고, 예, 그러니까 아예 다른 부대로 옮겨간다던가, 이렇게 분리 조치를 시킨다던가, 아니면은 여자 같은 경우에는 생활 제대되는 경우도 있어요. 임신하거나 이러면은 아예 집으로 돌려보내요.
좀 진짜 안타깝네요. Ouch. Yeah, that's pretty different from the U.S. It sounds
It's very
like.
different.
I mean, I don't know if the U.S. military is perfect, but at least it sounds like we're trying and we're doing a pretty good job.
We try our best.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the best with what you got, and of course, we're growing every day. And it's when you look at what the military looked like back in the 70s compared to now in 2026, it's vastly different.
Sure.
Granted, that is a long time, and even a decade is a long time, but you realize how much you take for granted when it
For
comes
sure.
to certain things.
Now that you guys have met, what do you have like one question you'd really like to ask to each other?
저는 군대를 왜 지원했는지랑 지원해서 돈을 얼마나 많이, 페이를 얼마나 많이 받았는지랑.
Right. I did not get paid pretty well.
Sure. 돈은 별로.
No. But I joined the Navy to pay off my student loans.
Okay.
Because when I graduated with my undergrad, I had about $24,000 in student loan debt, which honestly, compared to most Americans,
Isn't a lot,
That's
yeah.
not a lot. I had a friend of mine who graduated with close to $100,000. My paycheck that I had, so you get paid twice a month. Your paycheck includes, depending on your rank, it includes your housing, depending on where you're stationed, you get hazard pay for certain things as well. So for me, where I was stationed, I got hazard pay. My paycheck also included my housings because I lived off base.
Sure.
And then that had my water and gas and all of that, my utilities bill on top of that. At the end of the day, I think it was like 2,000.
All of that together was 2K?
No. Taking it aside, but after all that was done, I only had a couple hundred left.
Sure.
So I really did not have a lot.
Of course, no. Times 2,000 times, is it twice a month, 2K?
It was twice a month.
So 4K a month, so $4,800 a year. And then a little stuff
But then
on
my
top.
housing only came in once a month. So
it's just maybe roughly 40K.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe less than that.
Yeah.
And because that's also with my hazard pay on top of it. So
sure.
it's probably
like
less,
between 30 and 40. Yeah.
probably close to 20 as well.
What?
Yeah.
For military, it sounds like a lot. That's my
But
perception.
again, I had hazard pay.
Yeah.
1년에요?
1년에 한 4천, 5만 차이 하는데.
4천에서 5천.
Your very first paycheck, you literally get nothing because all of the uniforms that you see in that video, it comes out of your first paycheck. You pay for all of your uniforms.
Jesus Christ.
And I know that there are some people who were in the military years ago who will say, "Oh, I didn't pay for my uniforms." No, sweetheart, you did. Just because you didn't physically give them money, it came out of your
Yeah,
first
it came
paycheck.
paycheck.
So
이해하셨어요.
yeah.
옷이랑 사 입는다고요?
So yeah, then do you have a question for her as well?
I think my question would be looking back on your experience, putting aside North Korea the way it is, would you still join the military?
So, but just to clarify, are you asking if she joined the North Korean military or just joined
the
military in
military
general?
다른 나라에서 태어났다면은 군인을 선택하지 않았을 것 같아요. 왜냐면 북한은 이제 제가 군인을 선택했던 이유가 이제 입당이라는 거를 해야 되는데 그 입당을 하려면 군대를 가야 돼요. 그래서 군대를 가서 입당을 해야지 간부로 등용할 수가 있어요. 그러니까 군대 경력이 있어야 되고 그리고 입당을 해야 되고 제가 갔던 부대가 김부자가 자주 오는 부대예요.
아,
그래가지고 저는 김부자를 만나겠다. 예, 이런 각오를 가지고 군대에 나갔는데 만약에 다른 나라에서 한국에서 태어나거나 미국에서 태어났다 그러면은 여자잖아요. 공부도 해야 되고 그리고 예쁘게 그 20대를 보내고 싶어요. 네. 군대를 지원할 수도 있어요. 왜냐면은 군대 가면 그래도 돈도 주고 하잖아요. 기본적으로. 근데
다른 것도.
예.
그래도 고려할 수 있는 상황 자체 이제 좀 신기한 거잖아요.
예,
이제
좀
그런
많이
상황
다르죠.
없었으니까.
네.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. Yeah. Well, it's really fun comparing these perspectives. One of the biggest takeaways from me was that in the end, you're both, as being in the Navy, you're both working on ships. And so there's actually a lot more similarities than I would have thought, right? that was very interesting. But then obviously the biggest difference is that the quality of the training. And thank you guys. This is super fun, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
really
you very
appreciate the time.
much.